away from HAVU Gaming Showcase Finals in Washington. They're gonna bury here to go on to face who?
Frolunda HC and HAVU Gaming. It's 2-3 here at the HAVU Gaming Showcase, sponsored by Leidos and powered by Leaguegaming. I am its King Lime. He is Brandon B. Major Bigsby, and we will bring you all the action tonight. And Brandon, we've seen this before. We'll see it again. It's HAVU and Frolunda.
A classico, as some may call it. You know, when these two giants get together, it's always going to mean for a good time and some close games. These guys know each other so well. They've met plenty of times in playoff series and finals and championships appearances, but once again, they meet here today in the semifinals of the HAVU Gaming Showcase. And remember, a chance to move on next week for that big prize at the end of it. This should be a lot of fun. Can't wait to call it with you, Len.
Brandon, this is basically like a finals that we're handed here already between HAVU and Frolunda. They are two very good teams. As let's pop over and check out the other two teams that we have as we move into our playoff bracket here, Brandon.
Yeah, H-Reds and Granite, so it's interesting. All four teams that earned buys, they were able to take advantage of that, move on, and get themselves to this point in the semifinals. And what's interesting about this is that a lot of these teams were pretty battle-tested at one point or another, especially HAVU and Frolunda, and we'll get to that a little bit more in detail later. But about the usual suspects that we were kind of expecting here, the 1 seed in H-Reds, a team that many picked to win the championship. HAVU and Frolunda, I think many probably picked to get to this point. Maybe the one surprise or that one maybe flip kind of spot was Granite. Not really everyone knew who would get at that 4 seed, but Granite had a great regular season, earned their way there, beat a really good 5 seed in IQ, and got themselves a date with H-Reds here in the semifinals. So we knew we were going to have 2 good matchups and 4 good teams. That is delivered here so far, Tegan.
It definitely has, Brandon, and I think it's fair to say that it's anybody's game between H-Reds, HAVU, Frolunda, and Granite Gaming, but the two we are going to be paying attention to tonight is going to be HAVU Gaming as well as Frolunda HC, Brandon, and let me tell you, you need to be holding on to your zip chair seats for this one because it's going to be a high-flying action tonight.
Yes, and it is still giveaway season, everyone. Just a friendly reminder to visit the HAVU Gaming Twitter at HAVU Gaming to enter yourself for a chance to win a new gaming chair courtesy of Zip Chair Gaming. We have just 1 chair left to give away, so make sure you stay tuned on Twitter as we progress through the HAVU Gaming Showcase to see if you could be our last lucky winner. The last winner will be announced this upcoming Wednesday on HAVU Gaming Twitter. Remember, at HAVU Gaming. So if you want a chance to win that last chair, you want to be sitting comfy while playing those big games like these two teams are tonight, make sure you follow at HAVU Gaming on Twitter to give yourself a chance to win that one last zip chair remaining, courtesy of HAVU Gaming and Zip Chair Gaming.
Now, I know I've got one, and it is amazing stuff, and hopefully you guys can head over to HAVU Gaming and get your hands on the last available one, as Brandon said. And Brandon, now it's time for the deep dive. It is Frolunda, HAVU Gaming, the likes of Patzloff, Playmaker, Flyer, Kungan, Eagles, and Dominointi. We have great goaltenders in Cape and Sibelius in here. Let's hop over and take a look at the team matchup and stats and how close these two teams really are.
Egan, I love how you led that in with some of the names that we have between these two teams. If there was a book, a history book on all of the history in NHL esports, especially on the European side of things, well, these two teams would have been the ones to write many of the chapters, and they have been in full form in the playoffs so far. You can see pretty much everything about even between one another. The only big difference is that time on attack, with HAVU having about a 15-minute difference between one another, as well as the shot difference of 15 shot difference for HAVU as well. So maybe something to look out for, as Frolunda usually a team that likes to dominate that time on attack and really rely on their good defense to lead into good offense. We'll see if HAVU can kind of mitigate that a little bit. They've done a good job of controlling that possession and giving themselves chances throughout their playoffs so far.
And as you walk down the list, it's basically a mirror. You said it, Brandon, until you get to the time on attack difference. But how about if you pop down to HAVU Gaming special teams?
Yeah, they may not take many penalties and they may not get a ton of power plays, but when they do, they find a way to kill them off and they make you pay when you cannot. 44.4% of the power play, and they're perfect in the playoffs on the penalty kill. That is absolutely unreal, especially considering that you look on the other side in Frolunda, they're a really good power play in their own right, and they're 87.5% on the PK. You put those numbers against really any other team, and you would be saying, wow, Frolunda really has an advantage on the special teams, but HAVU has been so good in that aspect throughout this playoff run. It almost looks like they have an advantage there, so that's going to be something really interesting to watch. Who's going to really be able to take advantage, because the other team that they're facing just as strong on that special teams area.
Yeah, you've hit the nail right on the head, Brando, is that you look at Frolunda's power play and penalty kill and you think those are amazing numbers. And then you look over to the other side and it's almost a shock when you see better numbers on that other side. So special teams, both teams looking to stay out of the box, but obviously a lot of firepower on both of these sides here, Brandon.
Yeah, and you have to keep in mind, these two teams played in Week 4, and HAVU actually won that series 2-1. It's the only series that Frolunda HC lost during the entire season. All of the games were close as well. It was 3-0 Frolunda, 5-3 HAVU, and then 2-1 HAVU, with both of their goals being on the power play in that game. So not only do these teams know each other well, but we've kind of got the taste of how they played each other in the regular season as well. Should be a lot of fun with so much on the line, and these two teams knowing that situation against one another so well.
Yeah, you're exactly right with that one. And then you head back to the goaltenders in Cape and Sibelius, where these two looking to go head-to-head with some pretty similar numbers here as well. As maybe the look on one side, oh, those are amazing. And then you pop over to the other side, kind of like the penalty kill numbers here with the team stats matching up to these goaltenders, Brent.
Yeah, we all know what Kape can do. He's one of the best goalies in really not just EU, but in the world. You look at his stats, and it's really kind of told that tale so far. He's at that 0.8 save percentage under a 1 GAA. That is absolutely unreal, and you have to keep in mind, those stats could potentially be better. He had to play round 2 at right wing because Eki was not available in their matchup versus Tatorit, and then you look at the other side, Sibelius, just as good, 6-3. He's not at that 800 mark in terms of the save percentage, a little bit short out with a 0.785, but a 1.45 GAA, and Sibelius, a guy that might be a little underrated, especially considering that HAVU does have such a good goalie tandem with him and Hanselinho. He's a guy that can steal some games when he is really on his game and things are clicking. Look out for him to make a few big saves, because I feel like not just him, but maybe this whole HAVU team could maybe be a little forgotten about at times when you look at the big three. Everyone talking about, oh, H-Reds in Frolunda, that'll probably be the championship. HAVU, I think, has a little something to prove. I think they want to come out and show that they are still that championship team. It's been a minute for them. I think they want to assert that and say, hey, we're still here. We have that ability to beat a Frolunda or beat an H-Reds when there is that title chance on the line.
I totally agree. And speaking about championship teams, I do want to remind everybody that we do have the amazing F5 Penguin, Nick DeMeo, behind the scenes, running everything for us. He had a little bit of an emergency surgery he's recovering for, but just because you can't see him doesn't mean he's not here, as he's, in that not being able to see category as well. So we're all picking each other up here, Brando, and carrying on. And it sounds like everybody's about ready to get down to ice level here now. So if you had to pick, Brandon, as I always pick your brain, who's going to be the player here for Frolunda? Who's going to be the player here for HAVU?
I think the guy that I'm looking at here for Frolunda, it's got to be Eki, right? He is kind of the first person you would think about when you look at this Frolunda team, maybe aside from Kape, but he just has that ability to do a little bit of everything, and he may not have had as many goals through the first 2 rounds, only 1 goal, 5 assists, and actually he didn't play round 2, so his stats are a little low just because he's only played in the quarterfinals, but he has 6 points. He's a guy that can go out, make a huge difference on the offensive end for his team. I expect him to really have a big say, and why look further than the captain of HAVU Gaming for them? Fire Kungen, 9 goals, 11 assists, most shots on the team, and he also leads this team in the playoffs in takeaways with 43, so he can make a difference not just on the offensive end, but on the defensive end as well. One of the best two-way players in the EU scene. This is going to be a lot of fun, Teague, and I cannot wait to watch it. Another chapter written in this historic rivalry. Can't wait to call it with you, my friend.
It is the HAVU Gaming Showcase, presented here by Leidos and powered by Leaguegaming. Frolunda against HAVU in the semifinals. Which team is going to punch their ticket on the EU side to carry themselves into the finals? It is F5 Penguin B Major and it's King Lime on the cast. As the puck gets moved around up front, a quick shot there as things get started early. As that puck is going to be moved up to the King. Dominointi over to the left-hand side. As Playmaker moves that one out into the middle. That one's going to be turned around, and we're going to have our first power play.
Yeah, it looked like a hit from behind there in the offensive zone. As you can see right on your screen there. So we talked about special teams maybe being something that was going to make a difference. We're going to get our first look at that with the Frolunda power play, testing that perfect penalty kill so far in the playoffs from HAVU.
Face off here on the left-hand side. That one's going to be won back there by HAVU. As HAVU in the black jerseys, Frolunda in the white. As Timu over to Loimu up the left-hand side to Potzloff. Potzloff brings that down into the corner. He wraps that one around to Playmaker. Playmaker to Loimu. That one's going to be blocked. And Nasistalia gets that one all the way down. Loimu into the middle to Potzloff. Potzloff brings that puck over. He holds it on the forehand. Tries to get that one across, but it's going to be picked off. Loimu gets that one over to Timu. Timu through the middle. Tried to get cleared out there by HAVU, but it's going to be Loimu holding it in over to Eki. Eki back to the point. Shot is on, but it's going to be saved there by Sibelius.
Only 8 seconds left, but really a great penalty kill there from HAVU, just displaying why they have been perfect so far during the playoffs. Not really allowing for London to get any clear looks, only one shot there on that power play.
It's going to be saucered over to the right-hand side, and HAVU goes to work. Eagleson wrap around, and that's a great save by Kape. Timu trying to fight it out of the corner. Loimu, his partner, is there to help him out. Loimu to Potzloff, up to Eki over to the right-hand side. Playmaker fires. That one's intercepted. And the puck is going to be carried out by Dominointi. He wraps that one all the way back around, and they reverse. There goes Villikung. Villikung right-hand side to Dominointi. Into the middle. Fire Kungen's hit hard. And here goes Timu up the ice for Frolunda. Just sauces that one on, steered away by Sibelius. And Timu to Loimu, back to Potzloff, back to Timu. Timu looking for Potzloff. That one's going to be intercepted. His puck's going to be carried out here by HAVU. And a good start here by HAVU, Major.
Yeah, couldn't ask for much better if you're HAVU. Got the big penalty kill and then got right back on the tack. Remember, they had that really quick chance about a minute into the game. You can tell they are really looking to get something in early here.
Puck is going to be carried out here by HAVU. It's about 9 minutes to go here. Eki brings it out for Frolunda. Eki over the line. That was a good job staying on side was Frolunda, but HAVU's going to turn the puck around. Tries to go up the middle. It's intercepted by Potzloff as he was hanging back. Playmaker now. Sauce doesn't go far enough. Eagleson picks it up, but Potzloff's there in good puck support. Here's Loimu. Loimu looking up the middle to Potzloff. Potzloff almost gets free. Tries to self-sauce and takes the puck into the left-hand corner. Potzloff still has it. He's hit hard off the puck as HAVU's forwards coming back to help out. That puck's going to be dumped into the corner by Frolunda. They give chase, and they do come up with it. Eki gives that one away to Nasistalia. That one's going to be wrapped around by HAVU as they slowly work the puck out. Dominointi over to Nasistalia, left-hand side to Eagleson. He turns that puck over back into the neutral zone. And Frolunda, very aggressive, as Loimu, the defenseman, down low, trying to activate from the point to get Frolunda going and get on the board. Puck over on the right-hand side. Timu Wraps that one around behind the net. Potsloff back to Loimu. Loimu walks the line, goes D over to Playmaker. Playmaker covering at the point. Shot is on, and it doesn't make it through. Eki with a spin shot, and that one goes wide. Puck saucered over to the right-hand side is HAVU now. Trying to get that puck out of the zone as Frolunda has been very aggressive here at the end of the first period. Timu moves that one up to Eki. Eki trying for the pass, but good defense there as the center flyer Kungan back helping out for HAVU. Nasistalia, Dominointi. Puck is going to be forced ahead by HAVU. Dominointi down below the goal line. Gets that one back to the point. Flyer Kungan covering. Shot is on. Dominointi with a big shot and Kape with a save. The puck still fought for, and that takes us to the end of period number 1.
Yeah, Tegan, and about what we expected from these two teams. Not a lot of separation, good chances from both sides, big saves from both goaltenders, and really the biggest chances so far in the game probably from Frolunda when they had that power play, but HAVU, as they have been all playoffs, doing a great job on the PK, killing that off, only allowing one shot, and really just being aggressive throughout. And you can see Frolunda, maybe that advantage there in terms of time on attack, but HAVU really taking advantage of the possession time that they have gotten. Just a minute 07 time on attack, but 3 shots when they have been in the zone. Also really converting their passes at a better rate as well. So HAVU doing a great job on the defensive end, not giving Frolunda space and causing some of those turnovers. So really a pretty even period for both sides. Frolunda dominating the possession, HAVU dominating the opportunities, while also forcing a few more turnovers on Frolunda than maybe the other side is to them. So we knew it was going to be close. 20 minutes through, it has stuck out that way so far.
That it has Brandon, as we have HAVU in black, Frolunda in white. We get started with period number 2. Puck behind the net. It's going to be Eagleson back to Nasistalia. Fired on, and that one's blocked and into the corner. The puck is going to be carried out here as Frolunda looks to get going in camp. HAVU is going to try and work the puck back in. Nasistalia gets that over to Dominointi, back to Nasistalia. They decide to go up to Eagleson on the left-hand side. Work back to Nasistalia. Dominointi tries to go up the right-hand side, but the trap of Frolunda is so good. There's Loimu. Loimu trying to go through the middle. That one's going to be blocked by Flyer Kungan. And here goes Dominointi on the right-hand side. They can't get through Brandon as the defense is just so good here for Frolunda.
Yeah, and you saw that passing percentage a little lower than what you would see usually for Frolunda. Well, that right there has been why HAVU has given them no space, and they have been locked down in that neutral zone. A great defensive display here from the home team.
Frolunda's going to have to go back into their own zone to pick this one up, and they do. Puck is going to be worked out over to Loimu. Loimu to Eki, back to Loimu. Playmaker finally gets it in the left-hand side. He's bumped off the puck by Flyer Kungan. And it's back to Billy Kung. Billy Kung has it stolen from him, and here goes Frolunda, but it's back, all the way back to Kape. He just steers that one over to the left-hand side to Eki. Eki going for an Omaha play. Is Nasistalia, good job by him to get in the lane of that one. Nasistalia brings it through the neutral zone. They just dump that puck in, does HAVU, and goes to work. Good job there by HAVU to battle. They come out with it. It's the man who dumped it in. Nasistalia down to Eagleson. He drops that one behind the net. It's picked off by Potsloff. Potsloff gets it ahead to Eki for Frolunda, and here they come. Playmaker on the left-hand side. Fires, looking for a rebound, and Sibelius with a great save.
Yeah, nice job there from Sibelius. Unfortunately there for Frolunda, the way that Playmaker shot that was on that left pad, not really a chance there to get a clear-cut rebound opportunity, but Sibelius had to be in position, had to be sharp. He was right there for that save.
We see that rebound play so often when trying and working hard for a goal. Brandon, is Sibelius just makes a routine save and holds on to that one on the left-hand side.
Yeah, you hear the term meta thrown around a lot, and that rebound shot is something that a lot of teams, a lot of high-quality teams use to try to generate opportunities, especially in a game in a series like this where those high-quality chances come few and far between.
Dominointi gets that one ahead to Flyer Kungan. He can't get into the zone. Frolunda just sends it all the way down, no icing on the play. Billy Kung over to Dominointi to Nasistalia. Nasistalia, he dumps that one in right-hand side. It bounces in the corner. Dominointi's there first in front, and a great save by Kape. as that was a little bit of a bouncing puck play, and he had to be sharp. Teemu tried to get that one ahead, and Frolunda can't seem to get into the zone here as HAVU does another dump and chase play. They get it again. Eagleson out front, and a great save by Kape as a one-timer by Fire Kungan was robbed. Puck's held into the point by Nasistelia. He throws that one all the way around down low. Dominointi with it. It's poked off his stick. Still battling his Eki down low, helping out. But it pops loose up front. A shot is whiffed on, and it ends up going to the corner. As Eagleson had a great chance, Teemu and Loimu go back and forth. They slow the puck down. Here's Teemu. Teemu to Potsloff, over to Eki on the left-hand side. Eki tried to find Potsloff back in the middle. The poke check pops to Sibelius, and that is going to give us a whistle and an offensive zone face-off for Frolunda.
Yeah, and how about we go back on a couple of big saves there from Kape. Those were 2 or 3 clear looks there from HAVU. Probably one of the best chances they had since the first minute of the period, and Kape was all over all of them.
Look on the right-hand side is going to be poked off as Dominointi fights for it. He gains control and takes it back into his own zone. Willy Kung. Willy Kung breaks the puck out with Nasistelia back to Willy Kung. Willy Kung dumps it in. We're seeing a lot of dump and chase from HAVU. We'll talk about that in the intermission as we don't see it too often. As here comes Loimu. Loimu ahead to Eki. Eki trying to thread the needle there, but Nasistelia is there to stop it. Eagleson, good pass to Fire Kungan, who moves it to Dominointi. Dominointi, right hand side to Willy Kung. Willy Kung saucers that one into the middle. It goes off a skating wide. Eki, he battles for it on the left-hand side. Gets it into the middle to Potsloff. Potsloff up to Loimu. Loimu tried to thread it to Playmaker. He gets bumped off of the puck, and Nasistelia just carries that one through the neutral zone. And that does it here for period number 2.
Egan, we talked about it in the opening of this game. Teams kind of mirroring each other in Frolunda and HAVU, and through 2 periods, the scoreboard mirrors each other, a 0 on both sides, but really a lot of chances for both of these 2 teams. You saw Frolunda get a few shots on net, nothing that was too out of range for Sibelius, but they really did a good job of getting more shots than HAVU did in that second period. They had 2 in the first period, they get 3 on that one. HAVU, on the other hand, just 1 chance throughout that entire second period. So Frolunda doing a really good job getting some chances and not really letting HAVU be the aggressors in that second period the way it kind of felt like they were throughout the first. So really this could be a game where maybe the next goal we see wins it. There's not a lot separating these 2 teams. The goalies have been solid, the defense have been stout. Might be one of those games to where if you get a clear-cut opportunity, you will not afford to miss it because there are not many looks that have been wide open and clear for either side.
So you're saying there's a chance, we might be saying, Brandon, this puck is going to be wrapped back to the point. Willy Kung back to Fire Kungan. Fire Kungan's poked off. Guys, we are here. It is HAVU in black, Frolunda in white. This is the semi-finals of the Caps Gaming Showcase. Presented by Leidos and powered by Leaguegaming. Here's Willy Kung up the right-hand side. He's going to look for the dump. They don't. They fake the dump, and they almost gained entry. But Eki, 200 IQ play to try and move that one up. Nasistelia goes over to his partner, Willy Kung, and HAVU breaks the puck out. Nasistelia, he dumps that one in right hands up. It's going to be picked up there by Dominointi, but a good job in the puck support by HAVU to get there and cover each other. And this dump and chase game has been textbook, Brandon.
Yeah, that's something we kind of wanted to touch on earlier. That dump there is what caused the penalty. They were able to get into the zone by dumping it into that right corner, and the right winger for HAVU in Dominointi was able to race it, get past to the Frolunda defender, get possession, and it's what drew that penalty. So a lot of times you see teams in the EU prefer to break it out, just going stick to stick, tape to tape with the puck. HAVU switching it up, using that dump and chase, using the speed, and getting into the zone with that opportunity.
Absolutely right, Brandon. I can't agree more. We usually see the amazing passing like we're seeing on the power play here for HAVU. Willy Kung moves that over to Fire Kungan, poked off there by Eki. Willy Kung back again. Eagleson back to Nasistelia. Willy Kung, Nasistelia. Nasistelia walks the line, looks over for Eagleson, but he can get it. There's Dominointi. He's been battling behind the goal line, and he battles to get it out to Fire Kungan, and HAVU is on the board 1-0.
And it's who we said to look out for, the captain of HAVU Gaming, in flyer Kungan. And how about the puck movement on that entire power play there, Tegan? It was just quick pass after quick pass after quick pass. I don't think a single HAVU player had the puck more than about 3 or 4 seconds, and every single one of them touched it in about a 20-second span there, and it led to that beautiful look. Flyer Kungan in the right place at the right time in front, and that nothing Kape could do about it, and HAVU gets the scoring started in El Clasico, 1-0, and it all happened here in the third period.
Sibelius had to be close. It was almost a 1-1 hockey game. So that was the 10th goal there by Flyer Kungan. We want to thank LG's dynamic stat system and the EU players for sending over some amazing pictures. And we get a look at our esports all-stars in the top right-hand corner of your screen. When something great happens in the game, Brandon, as the puck's brought out by Flyer Kungan, he's tripped up, and we're going to see another power play. So HAVU going right back to work here, Brandon.
Yeah, and this is a big power play for HAVU, with considering how much time, or how little time, nevertheless, is left in this game. If they can score and take advantage of this power play like they did the last time, you'd really have to like their chances. With the way that this game has flowed on the 5-on-5, there haven't been a lot of opportunities for either side. They can go up 2-0 with that power play, could be absolutely huge for them.
Aminointi Eagleson, that one pops up, and Kape with an amazing glove save as he flashes the leather.
And I can hear the sigh of relief all the way on the other side of the pond from Kape. You could tell that was a scary one, but luckily for him, he was all over, and this thing stays at 1-0.
That one's going to be tied up, bumped off. Eagleson back with it on the left-hand side, and HAVU sets up. Nasistelia, they got the upside-down umbrella. Dominointi back to Nasistelia, over to Willy Kung. Nasistelia, Eagleson, and great save Kape, as he had to travel quite the distance to get across. That one's going to be shot on from a crazy angle by Playmaker. Sibelius says, hey, February's almost over. We play those. As Nasistelia up the left-hand side. Eagleson trying to cut in, but Timu with a great play, and he just dumps that one all the way down.
Yeah, this is a great penalty kill here from Frolunda, not allowing HAVU to set up and establish the offensive zone like they did on that last one. Great job from them, not letting them get set up, clearing it out, and now they get it back to 5-on-5 with a chance to tie it.
Becky, Playmaker on the 2-on-1, but a great back check by Flyer Kungan. He's doing it all. He's a 200-foot center. He's got the 200 IQ. And here comes Dominointi up to Flyer Kungan himself. The goal scorer for HAVU breaks it in the right-hand side. He's met by a hip check of Loimu. He gets the puck back, though. Flyer Kungan looks for a spin, and he draws another penalty. Is there anything this man can't do, Brandon?
Yeah, Flyer Kungan's been all over the ice. He's done a little bit of everything, and that is what we talked about coming into this. He can draw penalties, he can score goals, he can go back and help out on the defensive end. He's just one of those players that does a little bit of everything, and he does it at that elite level. It's so rare to find a player like that, especially one that is the captain of your team. Flyer Kungan really doing a good job, and the leader of this HAVU Gaming team in this game one so far.
And he is showing why he is the leader, that's for sure, isn't it, Brando? 1:42 left on the power play here for HAVU. As they look to get into the zone, they do, but they're offside.
This is going to be interesting. We've seen one power play from HAVU where they were really dominant, established that zone, got a lot of puck movement, and scored. And we saw the second one where Frolunda didn't really allow them to do that. This is kind of the rubber match on that matchup. This is going to be interesting to see which team prevails in this special teams battle.
Puck back to the point. Willy Kung. Willy Kung holding it. Goes down to Dominointi. Dominointi. Good pass on Cecilia. Oh, what a pass over to Eagleson. And a great save by Kape. Nasistelia back over to Willy Kung. Nasistelia again. He walks into the slot, throws it over to Dominointi. It's picked off by Playmaker, and that one's going to be tossed all the way down the ice and should do it here. Maybe one more breakout on the power play. Nasistelia coming through the middle over to the left-hand side. Eagleson drops that one to Nasistelia, but a 200 IQ play by Patslav. Gets that over to Playmaker. Loimu with the shot on. Eki is back covering. Loimu says, I'm going to get in there for us. Puck is going to be moved out front. Potsloff with it now below the goal line. Back to Eki at the point. Eki covering over to Timu, and that one shot on and blockered away by Sibelius. And a wraparound save again by Sibelius. And finally, HAVU breaks the puck up the right-hand side. Billy Kung sauces it into the middle, but nobody home. Australia picks that back up, looks down low, picked off by Frolunda, but they give it right back to Dominointi, right back to Frolunda, and it's a 2-on-1. Eki across, and what a poke check by Australia as he saved a goal on the goal line. Puck is going to be carried ahead finally by HAVU. Is under a minute to go here for Frolunda to put something on the board. They're probably going to look to Eki, as that one's going to be pulled off. Nasistelia just throws it down low to Eagleson. Eagleson comes out, tries to fire, and a good defensive play by Frolunda. Patslaf will move back to Patslaf. Patslaf brings it through. Billy Kung takes the puck back. They just want it out of the zone. Eagleson finally does, and he gets it in deep, and not deep enough, as we've got Eki with the puck as he breaks out for Frolunda. Over to Loimu, finds Timu and up to Patslaf. Patslaf coming in on the right-hand side, 25 to go. Timu to Loimu. Timu shot is on, and it's going to be blocked by HAVU, and Billy Kung gets that out into the neutral zone. Loimu, he's only got 15 seconds, finds his partner Timu, but a great job by Dominointi as he's grinding his way to a win here with 8 seconds to go. The net is empty. They look out front but can't bury, and that's right. It is going to be HAVU Gaming taking game number 1.
Plenty of action there the last 2 or 3 minutes, but HAVU able to hold on despite the pushback from Frolunda HC, and the 1 goal from Flyer Kungan enough to put them through in game 1 and strike first in the series. They lead the series 1-0 and win the game 1-0. And how about Sibelius gets a shutout added onto it as well. A great performance from HAVU. Frolunda tried that pushback there at the end, but there just was not enough time for them to strike and tie this thing up. What a game there, Tegan. We got to see a little bit of everything, even if it was a little bit low scoring.
Very exciting hockey nonetheless, Brandon. I don't think in esports, if you're looking for high-scoring games, that's not really the excitement that we want, Brandon. That had everything. It had lots of special teams action. It was on the edge of your zip chair. You know, you just couldn't ask for anything more.
Yeah, and I think that's a good way that you put that, is that a lot of times when you associate exciting games, you think about these 7-6, 5-9 games to where things are really just far and stretched out, and the goaltending's not really playing great, the defense maybe allowing a few breakaways. Games like this, a series like this with El Clasico, it provides a game to where it might not be the most high scoring, but you still see that skill, and most importantly, the IQ of each and every one of these players really is on full display, especially when they are facing players on the other side with just as good of that hockey sense. You really saw that throughout this game, and HAVU able to take advantage on that power play goal. It put him through to win this game, and wow, what a game it was. And how about that poke check, by the way, there with an open net? Sibelius allowed, I believe it was Nasistelia that poked that away. That was the difference between a 1-0 win and us going to overtime here in just a minute.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That was a great poke check by Nasistelia. And Nasistelia and Billy Kung doing a great job for HAVU. But how about Flyer Kungan? He was on one tonight. What a game by him between him and Sibelius. It could be a toss-up for the first star. But you've got Flyer Kungan making huge plays in the defensive zone. You've got him scoring the goal that matters. You got him drawing the penalties to get yourself into a position to win a hockey game there, Brandon. And that is really impressive stuff from Flyer Kungan and HAVU Gaming.
It's exactly why we highlighted him coming into this game. He's the guy that can really do a little bit of everything. It's not that you don't want to use the term glue guy because you kind of associate a glue guy with somebody that maybe doesn't have the most talent, but they're kind of always in on every play. No. Flyer Kungan, he is the straw that stirs the drink for this HAVU team, whether it be on that defensive end, not allowing that space, creating some turnovers, or whether it be on the offensive end, getting himself an opportunity to score, maybe making a little bit of space to pass it over to a teammate to give them a chance. He is a guy that is in every single play for HAVU, whether it be on the offensive end, in the neutral zone, or in the defensive end. He does a little bit of everything. We saw that there in game 1, and I think, like you said, Tegan, you could really do a toss-up with a coin flip between him and Sibelius for the first star. I doubt anyone would argue with either one.
Yeah, it's just all lightning action. This series, the other series, everybody holding tight here as we've got H-Reds winning game 1 on the other side of things. So HAVU taking this one, H-Reds taking the other one. And you know what, Brandon? It's about time that we sit down and get comfy in these zip chairs. And I hear that everybody else possibly could too.
Yeah, we have one zip chair remaining as Caps Gaming on their Twitter at Caps Gaming giving away a zip chair to all of our viewers and followers here. A friendly reminder, you have to make sure that you follow at Caps Gaming and stay tuned on Twitter as we progress through the Caps Gaming Showcase to see if you could be the last lucky winner to be sitting in a comfortable zip chair courtesy of Zip Chair Gaming. The last winner will be announced this upcoming Wednesday on the Caps Gaming Twitter, so make sure you follow at Caps Gaming on Twitter to give yourself a chance and see if you win the last zip chair remaining courtesy of Caps Gaming and Zip Chair Gaming. And boy, oh boy, Tegan, the lucky person that's going to get that, they're going to have a treat on their hands, aren't they?
They are going to have a treat on their hands, Brandon, and we've got a treat on our hands too, as it sounds like we are getting close to game number 2 between Frolunda and HAVU in this best of 5 series here at the Caps Gaming Showcase, presented by Leidos and powered by Leaguegaming. Brandon, Flyer Kungan was the man for HAVU in game 1. Who is it going to be in game 2 for either team, as I'd love to pick your brain?
Man, I'm going to pick different players this time because I really think you can make a case for Eki and Flyer Kungan again here. But let's go with Patslav for Frolunda. 8 goals, 14 assists in the playoffs. That leads this Frolunda team in both categories. We didn't really hear a lot from him in that game, interestingly enough. Kind of quiet as the whole Frolunda offense was. Patslav, similar to Flyer Kungan, really kind of the straw that stirs the drink on a lot of these plays here for Frolunda. I'd expect to at least hear from him once here in this game too, especially considering that maybe their backs can kind of be against the wall if they lose this. And for HAVU, let's go with Dominoiti. He's kind of a guy that, similar to Flyer Kungan, is everywhere. He was top 5 in playoffs in takeaways with 34. He has an equal amount of goals to assists with 8 each. He is a player that not just can contribute on the scoring end, but similar to Flyer Kungan, really good on the defensive end as well, which could be so important to get that help from your wingers. He does that well. Patslav does that well on the other side at center. Gonna be a lot of fun with HAVU leading the series 1-0 and a chance to double that series lead at 2-0, Tegan.
So Patslav is the little umbrella. Flyer Kungan is the straw that stirs the drink, Brandon. Here we are at the Caps Gaming Showcase. HAVU against Frolunda, changing jerseys as we've got Frolunda in the wall of red here. HAVU in white. As the puck is going to be moved up. Dominoiti. That one's dumped in. We're going to see a lot of dump and chase, I'd presume, here. Here's Loimu working the puck out for Frolunda. Over to Timu. Timu moves that one up to Patslav, and that is offside. Want to remind everybody that we do have Nick F5 Penguin DeMeo behind the scenes, running all the production for us. We want to thank him, and of course Brandon B Major Bigsby beside me, Tegan It's King Lime Blair, and here it comes. Billy Kung moves that puck ahead, looks for Dominoiti. They can't get over the line as Patslav has it behind the goal line over to Loimu. Loimu, give and go with Patslav up to Eki. Eki, he doesn't like what he sees. He's going to go back to his defenseman, Timu. Timu dumps that one in. Eki trying to get in there quickly. It's chopped down low. Good job there by Nosistelia. And HAVU gets the puck out. It might be a little too far. No icing on the play, though, as Loimu goes over to his partner, Timu, and Frolunda works the puck out on the breakout. Loimu over to Eki. Eki in the middle now. As that puck is going to be dumped in now by Frolunda. So Frolunda taking a page out of HAVU's book, and it almost works. It's back out to the line to Timu. Timu, Loimu, shot is on! And I believe that was saved, as it was a bit out of our screen there, but puck stays out nonetheless. And here comes Eagleson with a step, but a great poke check there by Timu to get that one out of the way, as Eki now brings it in for Frolunda. Eki, back to the point. Shot is on. That one's blocked. Another shot is blocked as it doesn't get through. As Brandon, HAVU Gaming doing a very good job of getting in front of the puck. Yeah, as we got a 2-on-1 the other way. Dominoiti coming down, and a great save by Kape. Sorry to cut you off there, Brandon.
Yeah, no worries. I was going to say we saw them do that in the first game. That was a big reason that they kept Frolunda scoreless. They had some chances in front, but they were all over to clean it up, not letting them get that clear look at Sibelius.
Billy Kung goes over to Nostastalia, who sauces that one all the way up to Flyer Kungan. Flyer Kungan goes down low as he trades spots with Nostastalia. Nostastalia looks for the wraparound, trying to activate from the point, but it's going to turn over to Frolunda. Here's Loimu. Loimu coming down as the defenseman, looking across, and he puts one off of Sibelius, is skated in.
You know, it doesn't always have to be pretty, but as long as it goes in, that is all that matters. And I doubt that Loimu and company will be complaining. His first goal of the playoffs right there. It couldn't have come at a bigger point. As for Frolunda, they were down 1-0 and lost 1-0 in game 1. Well, they strike first this time in game 2. They'll hope for the same fortune that HAVU had with that score in the last game.
Well, what do they say, Brandon? You got to be lucky to be good, or you got to be good to be lucky. And that one goes off of the skate of Sibelius and in, and he wasn't so lucky after collecting a shutout in game 1. Nostastalia into the middle to Flyer Kungan. Flyer Kungan drops that one down to Dominointi. Dominointi tries to ring it around. Timu picks it up. And Frolunda looks for the clap play. It does get to Eki. Here's Eki's 1-on-3. Just decides to take it to his corner and wait for Frolunda. Wraps that one around from Potsoff to Playmaker. Tries to go all the way back to the point there. He's not able to get his stick on it. There was Timu. Timu, good saucer pass up to Eki. Eki dumps that one in. So Frolunda, a lot of dump and chase this game, which we saw at HAVU last game. And Eki now taking a 200-foot penalty, which is going to put HAVU on the power play.
Yeah, a tripping penalty, unfortunately, there for Eki on that forecheck, and that's something HAVU's been really good at this series. They've done a great job at drawing penalties. They had 3 on the game 1. They get a 4th here in game 2. They only drew 12 through their first 2 series at all. They're already at a third of that here in the first 2 games alone.
Puck behind the net is going to be Flyer Kungan. Back to Nostastalia to Eagleson, and that's a great block by Loimu as he gets in the way. As we saw a lot of blocked shots from HAVU, now we're seeing it from Frolunda. Here's Playmakers. He swallows that one up, claps that one off the back of the net, but it gets all the way out and into HAVU territory. 40 seconds left on the power play. Flyer Kungan, left-hand side to Eagleson, back to Flyer Kungan. They try to force that one in, does HAVU. They can't get around Potsoff, and Potsoff gets that one out, but not all the way down. Good puck support there. As Potsoff gets that in for Frolunda. He's hit hard in the corner as he eats a hip check and picks himself back up. Eagleson for HAVU. Poked off his Eki covering at the point. Timu carrying that puck up. The puck's behind the goal line. Bumped off Potsoff now. Puck is going to be sauced ahead. Flyer Kungan over to Billy Kung, and he couldn't get that one through in the dying seconds of the first period.
HAVU had a few chances there between the power play and afterwards on even strength, but it's the goal from Frolunda in the middle of period 1 off of a beautiful tip play that kind of bounced off of the pad there of Sibelius, if I'm correct. And it's interesting because we kind of saw in game 1 where Frolunda had some shots and they just weren't able to convert, and it tallied as only 6 total shots throughout the entire game, but this time they get that bounce that kind of goes their way. It trickles in through Sibelius. It only took 1 and they were able to convert on it, Tegan.
Yeah, only 1 shot for either team, Brandon. We don't see that very often, do we?
Yeah, very, very rare that we see that, and kind of what the theme of this series has been. It's really kind of mirroring each other. The time on attack about even, the shots about even, and if you want to hear something interesting, how about this? These 2 teams, as we mentioned earlier, played in week 4. They both scored 7 goals. Their time on attack was only separated by 27 seconds, and they were only separated by 1 total shot in shots on net. These 2 teams are as even as it gets. It is displayed here through these first 4 periods.
It is displayed here at the Caps Gaming Showcase. Frolunda against HAVU, semi-final action. We will keep you updated on the other series as well between H-Reds and Granite Gaming. But here we are, Frolunda in red, HAVU in white, as HAVU picks the puck up. Dominointi back to Billy Kung. Billy Kung over to Nostastalia. Back to Billy Kung. Billy Kung tries to sauce that one over to the right-hand side. It's going to be intercepted by Timu, who goes to Potsop, back to Loimu, and here comes Frolunda. Loimu looking to dump that puck, and Cecilia's battled by Eki down to Loimu below the goal line. Loimu looking out front. He's trying to maybe sneak that puck through again, Brandon, but he hits the side of the net. Dominointi can't get around Potsop. Potsop goes down low to Timu, and here comes Frolunda out of the zone. Up the left-hand side to Eki. Good feed to Playmaker. Playmaker, he had Potsop cutting to the net, but a great play by Billy Kung, and here he comes out. Activating from the point on the right-hand side. Drops that one back to Dominointi. Billy Kung looking back for Dominointi, but good defense by Frolunda. Playmaker hit hard by Flyer Kungan, who stepped up at the point he was covering. Back for Billy Kung. Nosastelia. Over to Billy Kung to Dominointi. Dominointi wraps that one back around for Nosastelia. Nosastelia doesn't like what he sees. He's going to reset. Tell HAVU to come back. Gives the puck to Billy Kung. And here goes HAVU again trying to get into the zone. Is that red wall, Brandon, that we know in Frolunda is very dangerous on defense. Timu up to Potsop. Potsop back to Timu. And that one's a step offside.
Yeah, Tegan, and I didn't want to interrupt. It looked like Hoffa might have had a rush there, but kind of touching on what you were talking about with that red wall there that Frolunda has, they are so good at being able to lock things down at that blue line and not allow you to get past. We've talked about that dump and chase play that HAVU was executed on. That right there is exactly why they have done that, trying to get over the heads of Frolunda and beat them with that speed, because it's so hard to beat that 5-man red wall that Frolunda has with a normal breakout when they camp out on that blue line so well the way they do.
As here they try again, the dump and chase comes back into it, but a great job by Frolunda to kind of change their game and adapt to that dump and chase. Here's Playmaker trying to get into the zone. We see that gold helmet. There's Dominointi on the right-hand side. Moves the puck back to Nosastelia. Dominointi in the middle, and that one's poked off by Potsop. Playmaker brings it ahead, looking for Eki. It gets to him. Eki stops up, back to Timu. Timu, Loimu, Timu, fire! Great blocker, saves Sibelius. Timu at the point. Back down to Eki. Eki, Timu. As they play catch on the right-hand side. Finally goes over to Loimu, and they bring it down the left. Out front, as that one almost popped loose to Eki, but a good job by Billy Kung to get a hold of it. Fire Kungan battling Eki. Eki might have a pass ahead. He can't thread the needle through Nosastelia. And that one's going to be dumped in the right-hand side. But again, Timu and Loimu are back, making sure, Brandon. As here comes Timu in the neutral zone ahead to Potsop. That one's going to be poked off, and Eagleson comes out for HAVU. Tried to thread that one through Eki. Can't get it. As Eki just drops that one to Loimu. Goes back to Eki in the give and go, and Eki comes out. Tries to go through the middle. Both Frolunda players kind of bumping into each other there, Brandon. So both teams having trouble getting through the neutral zone.
Yeah, and that's just showing the prowess of these two defenses on the neutral zone side of things. Not allowing a team to establish the offensive zone, but right now, that's favoring Frolunda with that 1-0 lead. HAVU going to have to find a way to break through and get themselves a goal to tie this game.
Here comes Potsop. Potsop, Playmaker, Eki, and he's poked off by Billy Kung. And a great play by that to keep it a 1-goal game. Puck wrapped around down low, big body check. Dominointi comes out. He's been grinding for the past 2 games here for HAVU. As that one finally pops back out and it goes all the way down the ice. And Brandon, how important is it to have a player like Dominointi on your team to really grind those corner plays?
Yeah, and that's the reason we talked about him as a chance there for Frolunda. Sibelius all over it, no rebound chance, but it's why we kind of mentioned Dominointi. He's one of those players that is kind of not afraid to really be that grinder and use some of those plays to kind of get in, win those puck battles. And I know it's kind of hockey coach speech and it may not be as prevalent in NHL esports, but being able to win those puck battles, especially in those corners, in the offensive and defensive zone, so important to not only give your team some chances, but to deny the opposition of some chances. Flyer Kungan so good on that two-way game. Dominointi complements that perfectly with the way he is able to battle, win some possessions, and grind out plays to give his team some opportunities. But speaking of opportunities, HAVU gonna have to earn some more for themselves here. Only 1 shot through 2 periods, and that 1 shot was in the first period. For Frolunda, it just feels like they have been all over them through 2 periods, haven't they, Tegan?
They definitely have, and I think that starts from the red wall that we talk about, Brandon. Frolunda has such a good defensive wall, so to speak, and when we say that, we are talking about the trap that they are providing at the line, and it is just so good, isn't it?
Yeah, and not just the red wall, but something that you even alluded to a few times was Frolunda adjusting and adapting to that dump-in play that worked for HAVU so well. We haven't seen them really be able to execute that. That's a big reason they have that low time on attack number. Frolunda's so good at being able to adapt. It's one of their strengths. They're showing it here in this game, too.
So it's a 1-0 game here for Frolunda in the Caps Gaming Showcase semifinals EU division. HAVU in red. Or HAVU in white as they come in and score! Just like that, it's the man Fire Kungen!
And mama, there goes that man again, and it's the captain in Flyer Kungen. He scored the one and only goal in game 1. It was the game winner. He scores the one and only goal for HAVU in game 2 to tie it up. And Tegan, this guy has a clutch gene, doesn't he? He scores the game winner. He scores the game tire. Will we hear another one for him here?
Unbelievable stuff as we get a goal here in this 1-1 hockey game. We want to give you a quick update, Brandon, as we have 2 goals over in the other series for H-Reds. So they go up a 2-0 here in game 2. As that puck's going to be brought out in a trip, and that is where Frolunda got themselves in trouble last game, Brandon, is they're going to be going to the box here. It's going to be Loimu.
And HAVU have not been able to capitalize on the power play ever since they scored that initial power play opportunity in game 1. So the PK of Frolunda has been pretty sure, but you don't want to test this HAVU power play too much, especially since they got that goal just now and seem to have some momentum rolling.
Face-off is going to be won here by HAVU. They just try to force that one in and can't. Dominointi to Flyer Kungen. He fires Kape with a great save, and we want to remind you guys that the goal that Frolunda scored, it was kind of a little bit of a behind-the-net broken play here, so HAVU, I think, has the edge here, Brandon.
Yeah, they definitely do, especially with this power play opportunity. I know they haven't scored in a minute, but they do know that they can score on it against this Frolunda team. Add in the fact that they just got a goal a few minutes ago to tie it, you know these guys are feeling good and they're wanting to take this lead as soon as they can.
Dominointi over to Eagleson. He can't get around Eki. Eki can't get it out of the line, though, as Dominointi picks that one up and over to Nasistelia. Nasistelia, Vili Kung, right hand side to Fire Kungen. Fire Kungen, back to Vili Kung, Nasistelia, Vili Kung fires, great save, Kape, and Eki picks up the rebound, but it pops out to Dominointi. Dominointi battles harder than I think anyone I've ever seen in these esports EU competitive games here, Brandon, as he is always into the mess, trying to get that puck out, as here he comes with it over to the right-hand side. Fire Kungen, down low to Dominointi. There he goes to work, battling behind the net. We'll see if he comes out with it again. He does not. It is going to be Playmaker for Frolunda. Playmaker, ahead to Eki. Eki stops up, looks to go back to Playmaker. Good defense there by Vili Kung. Picked up here is Dominointi over to Nasistelia. Nasistelia tries to get past to Eki. He can't get the puck out, so he's going to come back around and go over to Vili Kung. Vili Kung out front, Eki all alone, and what a save, Sibelius, as he had to make a clutch save there, as that was an errant pass to leave Eki all alone out front.
Bookmark that play there, Tegan. That was a huge save there. If HAVU wins this game, Eki on that chance to save some Sibelius, bookmark that one if HAVU ends up pulling this off.
As bookmark a 3-0 H-Red lead in game 2. They already won game 1, so they are leading that series as we get a power play here for Frolunda, Brandon.
Yeah, now here's a chance for Frolunda to try to take their lead back on the power play. HAVU had a chance to try to take it on theirs, did not get the goal to do so. Frolunda now with a chance to do it on their end. We'll see if they can do so. And I think they kind of need this power play here. It feels like the momentum was kind of reeling away from them this period. A big chance to seize that back here on this power play opportunity. Their first of game 2.
Puck over on the left-hand side. That one's poked off. And here goes Eagleson. He just decides to dump that all the way down as HAVU, I think, just wants to get the puck out and try and drive themselves in the offensive zone after they kill this off. Here's Playmaker. Playmaker down the right-hand side. Back to the point to Timu. Timu wraps that one around. Looks out front. Good puck moving here by Frolunda. This is what they're known for on the power play. Eki looks out front. It pops loose and a shot on by Potzloff is saved by Sibelius. And that one's just cleared down. Loimu gets that one over to Potzloff. Potzloff looking through the middle to Loimu, and that one's going to be picked off by Eki to Timu. Timu across, and that one's going to be eaten up by Villikung to Dominointi to Nasistelia. Nasistelia looks for Dominointi, but he can't get it through Eki. Is Eki doing a great job on the back check. Nasistelia picks it up for HAVU. That shot is a one-timer sailed wide. Villikung, he drops that one down to Dominointi, back to Villikung. Nasistelia fires, and that one's so close as Kape. I think he might have got a piece of it, Brandon.
Yeah, and Kape has been sharp throughout this game, too. You hope for his sake that they can pull out this game and get a win. He's made multiple big-time saves, but Sibelius on the other end as well. This could be a game that comes down to big goaltending and big saves for both sides.
It's going to be brought in by Eki. No offside on that play. Eki, down low to Playmaker. Playmaker, back to the point, and it goes all the way down, and Frolunda's going to have to start again with 4 minutes to go in the third period. They turn it over. Here's Flyer Kungan. What an interception by Loimu for Frolunda to take that back from HAVU as Eki gets that one ahead to Playmaker. Playmaker, he's dancing in. He's waiting for Eki, but couldn't wait long enough as here goes HAVU up the left-hand boards. Nasistelia gets it out of the zone. Little saucer pass intercepted by Potzloff, and Eki holds off for Frolunda, but turns it over to Nasistelia, and here goes HAVU. Villikung back to Nasistelia. 1:30 to go in the third period. 1-1 hockey game. HAVU leads this series 1-0. Nasistelia tried to dump that one in, intercepted by Loimu. Loimu through the middle as that one's going to be poked off, and here goes HAVU. Flyer Kungan gets that one ahead to Eagleson. Eagleson sends it back, intercepted by Loimu to Potzloff to Playmaker. Playmaker coming in on the right-hand side. He claps that one. It's free. But what a play is Nasistelia again, making another game-saving defensive play. Here's Timu as he fires that one all the way back to his partner Loimu. Loimu looking across, but he can't get that through Dominointi. Of course, he's been a brick wall. Dominointi ahead to Flyer Kungan. Flyer Kungan carries it in on the right-hand side. He still holds onto it. He's fighting off a check down to Dominointi. Dominointi on the right-hand side. He looks to pass that one through. It gets the Eagles in an awkward way off the goaltender. And Loimu gets that one ahead to Eki. 15 seconds to go. Potzloff back to Eki ahead to Playmaker. Playmaker coming in for Frolunda. Just fires that one on, and it's steered away easily by Sibelius. Potzloff on the right-hand side. Gets that down low to Eki. It's intercepted there by Flyer Kungan. He just wants this one to end. He takes it back behind the net, and that does it here for period number 3. We are going to overtime.
Wouldn't be El Clasico without at least one of these games in the series going to some extra hockey with Natig, and it's a 1-1 score to take this in the OT. Flyer Kungan got the game-tying goal in the third period. Loimu had the goal to get the scoring started, but nevertheless, none of that matters now. It'll take one goal for one of these teams. Frolunda with a chance to tie it 1-1. HAVU with a chance to really take a firm grasp on this series and go up 2-0. But gotta give HAVU some credit here. 4 shots in that third period. They had 1 through the first 2 periods alone. They also had about 2.5 more minutes of time on attack. They really got things going for themselves more so in that third period. You could tell they were starting to buzz. They were starting to generate some chances. Now the question is, can they translate that into overtime, get some things going for themselves, and make it at that 2-0 series lead? Do not be shocked if this kind of game slows down. Neither team wanting to make a mistake. Taking advantage of chances, gonna be huge from this point forward.
Well, it's overtime hockey at the Caps Gaming Showcase semifinals. Game number 2 in this series is what a save by Sibelius. I thought it was over. Frolunda against HAVU here in overtime, 1-1 game. Playmaker tries to backhand that one on. It's going to be picked off by Dominointi. Dominointi, errant pass onto the stick at Playmaker, but good puck support lets HAVU be okay on that breakout. Here's Flyer Kungan ahead to Dominointi. Eagleson, Dominointi looks for Flyer Kungan, but great back check by Playmaker. Gets the puck out for Frolunda on the breakout. That puck is going to be dumped in. First to it is going to be Villikung. Villikung, he's battling for it. He's got Playmaker and Potzloff all over him. It's going to be Potzloff who comes out looking for Eki. Can't get it to him. Here's Eagleson going up the left-hand side for HAVU. Drops that one all the way back. And it's going to be Villikung looking for a clap play, but I don't think you're going to get that on the Frolunda defenses. You heard Brandon talk about how they've adapted so well to the dump and chase. It's Nasistelia. That one's going to be chopped up to Eagleson on the left-hand side. Dominointi, good pass over to Flyer Kungan, and they dump it in and give chase. Loimu's there first, gets that over to his partner Timu. Timu can't get around Flyer Kungan. He just fires that one on. It goes wide. And Loimu wraps it around on the reverse to Timu. Teemu working the puck out for Frolunda. Over to Loimu. Back to Teemu, over to Playmaker as he gets around the check of Dominointi, but a good pick off by Nocistelia, and it's a 3-on-2 the other way. Nocistelia still holding on in the backhand. Good defense by Eki as Eki stops up that 3-on-2. Playmaker has the puck poked off his stick, and it's going to be Dominointi trying to get it out. Good pick off by Eki, gets it over to Teemu. Teemu can't get it in as it's a neutral zone hockey game right now. Finally, HAVU gets in. It's Flyer Kungen. He tries to wrap around behind the net. Eagleson with a good pickup. Back to Flyer Kungen. Oh, he came around in the back skate and hit the post. Flyer Kungen still down there. He's tripped up, and it's going to be a power play for HAVU Gaming.
What a great job there from HAVU. They got into the zone and really worked that puck around from behind the net. That's how they scored their one goal in game one. They used it there. Weren't able to capitalize, but they did draw that penalty. And who else but Flyer Kungen to do it? Now they have to capitalize. They're 1 for 5 on power plays in this series. If they can make it 2 for 6, they'll be up 2-0 in this series.
Puck is won there by HAVU. Here's Flyer Kungen in the right-hand side. Flyer Kungen holds it on the forehand back to Nocistelia, to Willy Kung, Flyer Kungen, Willy Kung, Nocistelia over. Oh, what a pass by Eagleson as they thought they could move it faster than I can speak, Brandon, but think again. Great shot by Eagleson, good save by Sibelius.
Yeah, good vocal trading there for you, line. You just look up the tape, you look up HAVU's power play, and you just kind of try to follow along with it as you talk. They move this puck so quickly, it really works for them.
Eagleson now goes back to the point, and oh no, Brandon gave him a bit of a jinx there as they do move the puck super nice, but not that time, buddy, as that one gets thrown out of the play. Here's Dominointi back to Flyer Kungen, to Willy Kung. Flyer Kungen trying to force it through. It does. It gets to Eagleson. Now Dominointi, but Eki picks it up, and that's all the way down. And that should do it for the power play for HAVU. So a good kill here by Frolunda. Nocistelia over to Dominointi. It's poked off his stick. Here goes Teemu. Teemu has it poked off his, and that's offside with 7:15 to go in OT period number 1.
If Frolunda wins this game, I think a big reason is going to be their work on the penalty kill. HAVU now 0 for 3 on the PK in this game. The one goal they got in the last game was through the power play. We mentioned that they won the Week 4 series. In the deciding Game 3, they won 2-1. Both of those were on the power play. So power play goals for HAVU have kind of been a key for them in the games that they have won against Frolunda. When Frolunda hasn't allowed them to beat them on those 5-on-4 chances, it's gone to their advantage. So it's going to be interesting to see if Frolunda can capitalize and use this 5-on-5 to get a goal in, but the PK, absolutely great for Frolunda, could be a big reason if they pull this off.
Here's Eagleson as Eagleson drops that one back to Willy Kung. Willy Kung drops that one over to Eagleson. It was a bit behind him, so it was an easy pickup for Frolunda. And now it's going to be Loimu up to Eki. Eki dumps that one in here in overtime period number 1. It's going to be Willy Kung, though, for HAVU, who gets it. Good poke check, though, by Playmaker. Playmaker tried to find a lane out front and couldn't. Teemu's hit hard there by Dominointi, the grinder, letting him know. It's Dominointi battling Playmaker for that puck. It comes all the way back to Kape, and Kape moves it up to Teemu. Teemu into the middle of the Potzloff. Potzloff, that's an interesting little side dump there as we've got an update, and we're going to bring in our good friend, Nick, F5 Penguin DeMeo.
Hey guys, I figured while we're cracking open the mic here, recovering, I can give you the update behind the scenes. H-Reds right now looking to take a stranglehold in this best of 5 on the other side of the bracket. Under a minute to go, they're up 4-0 as we look to overtime here in this game 2 on your screen.
Or nothing, not like we got going on over here, Nick. Thank you so much for that, as we'll hear from Nick in and out here through the broadcast, as we love hearing that gentleman's voice. As Eki ahead to Teemu. Teemu comes in, trying to get that to Loimu. Back down low to Teemu. Teemu to Eki. Eki looking back door, but too many bodies there, as Willy Kung gets that one ahead to Dominointi. Eagleson, he's through. Eagleson backhanded. What a save by Kape. Dominointi now for HAVU. Best chance of overtime was by HAVU right there. As Eagleson out front, Flyer Kungen, and a backhand robbery save by Kape on Dominointi. Willy Kung, he spins now out front. Eagleson's puck is blocked, and it's going to be a power play for HAVU.
Oh man, Kape with 2 or 3 gigantic saves there to keep this game alive. for Frolunda, but unfortunately, they take the penalty, and once again, HAVU a chance on the power play. Gotta convert on one of these against a team like Frolunda. Not often you get this many chances. Gotta convert on one if you want to win this game.
That's what Kape does, Brandon, is they can trust him. Billy Kuhn, download the Dominointi. Dominointi walks this puck around the outside and goes to Nasistelia. Nasistelia back to Dominointi. What a pass! And they score! Eagleson in overtime!
Eagleson, number 6 on the season, number 2 on the game, and series win number 2 for HAVU, and now they have a full grasp on this series with a big overtime winner, 2-1, and Kape, he made so many good saves, just couldn't make that third there on that opportunity. Eagleson, we say it all the time, Tegan, at the right place, at the right time, puck falls in front of him, and he had nothing but an open net and white mesh in front of him to capitalize and get his HAVU Gaming squad up 2-0 in the series with a 2-1 Game 2 win.
Great job by HAVU, Brandon. You really got to tip your cap to them. You spoke about it in the pregame, how, you know, they were kind of left out of that top 4 conversation. Yeah. And, you know, are they ever making a statement here against Frolunda in these first 2 hockey games? And mind you, the series is not over. This is a best of 5. But if they were going to come out and make a statement, they're doing it now and they're doing it right.
You have to keep in mind that we have seen series comebacks between these two in not just final situations, but just tournament situations plenty of times. So HAVU knows better than anyone that you do not get ahead of yourselves and think that the series is locked up. We even saw last week, Tegan, in the NA, a 2-0 series lead does not guarantee you anything. Prodigy had a 2-0 series lead. Olympia fought their way back and won that series. So if we've learned anything, is to expect the unexpected, especially when these two teams meet up against one another. So this series far from over, but HAVU has really put themselves in a good situation with that 2-0 series lead.
Have they ever put themselves in a good situation, Brandon? And I'm very, very impressed with them. One person, to say the least, last game, my man was Flyer Kungan. And you know me, I move quick. This game, my man is Dominointi. What a game by this guy. He is grinding in and out. He may not be scoring the big goals, but the reason the puck gets to the goal scorer on both those goals is my guy Dominointi on the right-hand side for HAVU Gaming.
Yeah, and you kind of need those players, and like I said, I know it's coach speech, and I know this is NHL esports, but I think you still need that player that's willing to go in there and get dirty and win some of those puck battles, because it creates opportunities for your team, and in some situations, if you're in the defensive zone, it can deny an opportunity for the opponent. We saw plenty of times where Dominointi was between 2 different Frolunda defenders, and he would somehow come out with it, get a pass over to one of his fellow forwards, and it would result in some chances for this HAVU Gaming team. And there's always that element that you need to where you were able to get a few of those pucks to bounce their way, but it's a different story when you're able to really scratch and claw and fight for that puck, stick with the play, and get a chance off of it. Dominointi's so good at doing that. And another player for HAVU I think that we haven't really talked about enough, how about Nasistelia on the back end? He has been phenomenal on the back end. He has stopped multiple opportunities from Frolunda, and he has really done a good job, especially of keeping Eki in check. If I'm correct, Eki is pointless through 2 games. Not often you will ever get to say that. Nasistelia, a big reason why on that lefty spot.
A massive reason why. We're going to dive into this a little more. What's that? What's that, Mr. Zip Chair? Oh, you've got a friend you want to give away here? Head over to Caps Gaming and check out my friend Brandon.
Oh yeah, we got one more zip chair to give away, and this is a friendly reminder to visit the Caps Gaming Twitter at Caps Gaming to enter for your chance to win a new gaming chair courtesy of our friends at Zip Chair Gaming. We have just 1 chair to give away like we mentioned, so make sure you stay tuned on Twitter at Caps Gaming as we progress through the rest of this Caps Gaming showcase to see if you could be our last lucky winner to win one of these comfortable chairs. The last winner going to be announced this upcoming Wednesday, so in a few days, on the Caps Gaming Twitter. So make sure you keep in touch, keep an eye out at Caps Gaming to see if you could be taking yourself home a comfortable zip chair courtesy of Caps Gaming and our friends over at Zip Chair Gaming.
Great stuff, Brandon, and great chairs by Zip Chair, and great stuff by Caps Gaming. I mean, just absolutely awesome. So make sure you guys head over to @Caps Gaming and get your chance on Wednesday to get your hands on that. But Brandon, this is where it gets interesting. If, we wouldn't have known, we couldn't have started here. It's a 2-0 lead by HAVU, and they have a chance to wrap this series up next game.
Yeah, and I think if Frolunda would have known, they still would have opted not to have started here. Realistically, it's interesting because I think coming into the series, I think a lot of people expected, okay, this is going to be one of those series, goes to 4 or 5. They probably split the first 2. It turns into a best of 3. Well, HAVU, they might not be scoring a lot, but they're scoring the goals when they need the most. They're scoring in critical situations, and they've had some defensive plays in critical situations. It just feels like whenever they need that big play, they've found a way to deliver. It's something that we see from their opposition in Frolunda a lot of times. HAVU, remember, were down going into the third period, only had 1 shot on net, a little bit over a minute of time on attack. It's like after the first 40 minutes, they just flipped a switch, and it looked like a completely different team on the offensive end. Unfortunately for Frolunda, unlike HAVU in Game 1, that first goal they got was not enough to pull them through. HAVU was able to get some power play chances, even though they weren't able to take advantage of them. It got them some chances, it got them some opportunities, and they really started to generate offensively from that point forward. So now HAVU, you have 3 opportunities to take out this Frolunda team. The chance is, can you take advantage of it? That's the big question. Frolunda known to fight back. HAVU knows that. It's going to be a lot of fun to see how Frolunda and HAVU both look in what is now a do-or-die Game 3.
Yeah, and now at this point, it's backs against the wall, isn't it, for either team? Because the last thing you want to do is even give Frolunda 1 game. You give Frolunda any sort of momentum. They are the type of team that knows what they're doing. They play together all the time. You don't want to give Eki and the boys any momentum, as they can build on that, as we saw last week.
And what makes them so dangerous is that they're one of those teams that have been in just about every situation imaginable, so nothing phases them. They have that sense of calm, cool, and collectedness that really you don't get from a lot of teams. They just play with a certain poise to where nothing rattles these guys. So they might be down 2-0, but I can assure you they are not rattled by this at all. This is just business as usual, and the challenge is just a little bit harder now, but we saw it from Olympia last week in the NA, like we mentioned. 2-0 is not insurmountable. It just means you have to be near perfect from here on out. Make sure you win every game. There's no longer that room for error. So if anything, the challenge maybe becomes a little bit harder for HAVU, because Frolunda gonna throw everything at you. And like you mentioned, Tegan, we just saw this last week. Goons were up 2-1 on Frolunda, and Frolunda, like we said, flipping a switch from HAVU. Frolunda did that same thing, won Game 4 and then dominated Game 5 to get to this point. So this is not unfamiliar territory from Frolunda. They're gonna show up because they know their season is on the line. They expect nothing less than a championship from any tournament they enter.
Not over till King Lime starts singing, as here we go, Brandon. Game number 3, HAVU against Frolunda. Caps Gaming Showcase semi-finals, presented by Leidos and powered by Leaguegaming. On the cast, we have Brandon, B Major Bigsby, Nick, F5, DeMeo, and Tegan. It's King Lime Blair. And both teams' backs against the walls. We'll have updates from you for the other series, but first, we're gonna get this one started, Brando. We've got HAVU in black, Frolunda in white, and Dominointi, of course, comes in and wins that draw here for HAVU. Billy Kung over to Nostastalia, right-hand side to Dominointi. He can't get that puck around Playmaker. Playmaker, good pass again ahead to Potzlaw. That one's going to be picked up at the point by Timu. He fires quickly and early, as I expect lots of shots from Frolunda in this game. Here's Eagleson, the hero from last game, ahead to Dominointi. Oh, Eagleson almost had the pickup behind the net. He finally gets it. Eagleson to Dominointi, back to the point to Billy Kung, back to Dominointi. Dominointi tries to thread that one down low. It's picked off by Timu, who gets it ahead to Eki. And here comes Frolunda into the zone. Loimu with a step. He tried to get that one ahead to Playmaker. They get it to Eki and they score!
Well, we said it wouldn't be long before Eki got on the board. It's a hard task to keep this man silent for such a long time. Well, silent no more is Mr. Eki on that one. A great goal off the pass from behind the net, a play that we have seen HAVU capitalize on a few times in this series. Frolunda says, hey, I'm going to take a page out of you guys' book, converts on it there, and once again, just like game 2, they find themselves up 1-0.
So familiar territory here for HAVU after scoring 2 unanswered goals to win game 2, and a great start there by Frolunda as they have 3 games they need to win. Leaguegaming back to Australia. And here comes the trap of Frolunda already there, Brandon, as we see 1 goal go in, and the trap starts only 5 minutes into this hockey game. Here's Playmaker on the right-hand side. Back to Timu, he shoots, it's loose again as Eki gets it, as he tried to fire that rebound home. They can't, so they just work that one around the outside, and lots of shots on Sibelius right away here, Brendan.
This is why we said that HAVU could be in just as much pressure as Frolunda, because you know Frolunda has nothing to lose. They're down 2-0. They have to win 3 straight. Odds you would figure would be against them, and the pressure now more on HAVU to close this thing out, especially considering that there is a chance to go to the finals on the line. We'll see how they respond here.
Domino AT on the right-hand side takes that one in front as it's loose, and they score! None other than Flyer Kungen!
Well, we posed the question, and HAVU provided an answer, and who else to represent on that one but the captain himself once again in Flyer Kungen. 3rd goal of the series out of the 4 that HAVU Gaming have scored today. He has been absolutely phenomenal for a team in black and green, and just like that, after Frolunda's team to have the momentum and get opportunities for themselves, HAVU come in on the counterattack, find a response, and tie this game up in 1 apiece.
There's Flyer Kungen looking great up at the Leaguegaming dynamic stats system in the top right-hand corner of your screen. We want to thank the EU players for sending in those pictures as well, as it makes it feel a little more at home, you know, as we see Flyer Kungen, the gentleman who gets his 12th to the playoffs, and it's a 1-1 hockey game, is here. Goes HAVU out of their zone, Australia. Here's Dominointi bringing the puck out. Dominointi back over to Leaguegaming. Good play to Flyer Kungen. He just dumps that one in. Loimu is there first. Loimu gets that ahead to Eki. Eki good pass to Potzloff. Potzloff trying to get that puck through, but too many HAVU Gaming players there. Loimu's going to have to reset to Timu. Timu brings that puck up, and he'll get it stolen by Leaguegaming, and he just tries to carry that one through the middle, but Eki says, no, not today. I'm going to hold that one back here. This puck is going to be carried out now by Frolunda. Loimu up to Potzloff. Back over to Timu, and Timu just dumps that one in left-hand side. Australia over to Leaguegaming. Good pass up ahead to Dominointi. Dominointi tries to get it to Flyer Kungen, but he cut to the right-hand side, and Loimu's going to work that puck over to Timu. And here comes an Omaha play that's going to be a little too far as Australia picks that up. And speaking of captains, we'll go over to our captain for a little bit of an update, Nick.
Oh, you're very too kind there, Tegan. Update on the other side. H-Reds winning Game 2 5-0. Game 3 just started underway. 14 minutes left in the first period. H-Reds on the power play.
There's a big tip there by HAVU as Flyer Kungen gets his stick on that. As thank you very much, Captain Nick. As here it goes, Leaguegaming goes D to D up to Australia. He tries to thread that one all the way through. It goes all the way down the ice, and that will be icing, Brandon.
Yeah, and going back to that Omaha play, what's interesting is we haven't seen that from Frolunda. We've seen HAVU use a lot of those dump-ins, but that slap pass deep, we've not seen Frolunda use at all throughout this series, so maybe they're trying to switch it up and throw a few different looks at HAVU with their backs against the walls here.
Here's Playmaker. Down low to Eki. Eki takes his time back to Timu. Timu to Loimu. Loimu walks in. He's got space. He fires, and Sibelius flashing the leather.
Yeah, and Sibelius, he's been amazing. Both of these two goaltenders have, and he makes another big save there from Frolunda, or against Frolunda, who really have gotten some good opportunities throughout this game. You see it on your screen as we have a pause here. 4 shots, and all of them have been pretty clear looks on Sibelius, where he has had to come up with that big save. So have to give him a lot of credit for the way he has played throughout this first period to keep this at a tie game.
Yeah, keeping it at a tie game is right. And what do you expect to see out of Frolunda here as we get deeper into this hockey game, Brandon? Is they have to win. It's do or die.
A lot of pushback and a lot of aggression. Frolunda, they know the situation. They know they're going to have to try to create as many opportunities for themselves as they can. They only had 6 shots in game 1. They had 9 in game 2, but you have to remember, we went through about an entire overtime period, so I'm going to expect a lot of shots from them, maybe from some angles you wouldn't even expect. Really going to try to test Sibelius and hope that maybe one can fall their way like it did there in game 2 on the bounce.
Nostastelia over to Dominointi. Nostastelia tries to thread that one up. He can't get it ahead. That is going to be offside, though. But it doesn't matter, Brandon, as that does it here for period number 1.
We saw scoring from 2 of the more well-known players in the EU scene. Eki got things started with that beautiful behind-the-net play and the pass over to him on the left side. And then Flyer Kungen responded just a few short minutes later, the captain for HAVU Gaming, as you can see on your screen. Right there, just in front of the net, right where he could get it. Clear space on Kape and took advantage, but that was about what we expected from that first period, I would say, Lime. We knew that Frolunda was going to come out hot. They were going to come out firing. They were going to look to be the aggressors considering the situation. And so far, I would say they've done that. 4 shots on net. They've tried to really just throw as many looks on Sibelius as possible. But I think the key is that they've all been really high-quality chances. They're not just throwing any shot on net the minute they get into the zone. They're getting really danger chances on the goaltender in HAVU.
As we've got a little bit of a score update before we dive back into this one, let's jump over to our man, Nick F5 DeMayo.
Yeah, late in period number 1, H-Reds getting on the board. The centerman and Captain Benito gets the first marker of game number 3 there in the lead.
As here we go with period number 2, 1-1 hockey game. HAVU in black, Frolunda in white here at the Caps Gaming Showcase. Powered by Leidos and presented by none other than Leaguegaming. You'll see the dynamic stat system pop up in the right-hand corner of your screen as we get updates from all over the place. As we'll keep you as informed as possible. You may even be too informed. As Vili Kung tries to dump that one in. Potzloff back to Loimu, over to Timu. Timu, good move over to Potzloff, and Potzloff comes in with speed. Poked off his stick by Vili Kung. Good job by Potzloff to get it right back for Frolunda as he battles Vili Kung in the corner. But you're not going to get away from Dominointi as he is hungry. Here's Potzloff. He tries to throw it out front, maybe trying that little off-the-skate bank in, but Sibelius, good job holding his post. Here's Dominointi. Gets that one over to Nostastelia, to Vili Kung. Back to Nostastelia, back to Vili Kung, back to Nostastelia. It says that was nostalgic. As Nostastelia dumps that one in right-hand side. That one is going to be offside, and with 15 to go, we get a whistle.
Yeah, we'll get a whistle there, and I like the little Nostastelia nod. He's been great throughout the series, as we mentioned, as we will get another pause, but you kind of get the feeling things may be starting to just slow down a tad here. We had those 2 goals that got to happen in succession, and the rest has just been opportunities here and there between the 2 teams. It's going to be interesting to see if that keeps up, if the goaltending keeps standing strong from HAVU and Sibelius, or if Frolunda can maybe break this thing open. It feels like that they've had the majority of pressure in this game. It'll be a lot of fun to watch and see if they can break this thing through and maybe continue to carry out what they've been doing on that defensive front.
As we'll dive right back into this period number 2, 15 to go as we get a neutral zone face-off. That one's going to be tied up, but it's going to be won by the team that lost the draw in Frolunda. This puck is brought out by Loimu. Loimu, good pass ahead. Is that one a little tough? A little traffic jam on the left-hand side there, Brandon.
Yeah, and just kind of stuck in the neutral zone there was Frolunda, so now they'll get another chance on the faceoff. They lost that first one, basically won it in succession. We'll see if HAVU can maybe win this one clean as they do right there to try to get into the zone.
Nostastelia curls around. Vili Kung drops that one back to Dominointi. Dominointi up the right-hand side, trying to force the puck, and as neither team can get in. And here's a 2-on-1 here for Frolunda. Timu, what a poke check by Nostastelia to shut down that 2-on-1 as the oh-so-dangerous Eki was on the other side. Dominointi comes out of the battle with that, no surprise. And here's Flyer Kung, and he fires a long shot, and that one's blocked by Loimu. Loimu goes over to his partner, Timu. Timu threads it ahead. Dominointi picks that one up, tries to get it in low. And Loimu's going to work the puck out. Loimu through the middle to Eki to Timu. Timu, good pass ahead to Eki, trying to get that one even further to Potslop, but it's into the corner. Playmaker, Eki tried to put one on. It's back in the corner to Playmaker, out to Loimu. Loimu fakes the slap shot. He's being forced there by Eagleson. Walks the line, shot is on, and it carries on wide after being tipped. Eki hit hard behind the net there by Vili Kung, but Frolunda still comes out with the puck. Here's Playmaker, back to the point to Loimu. To Timo, shot is on, and Sibelius had to be sharp as he holds that one off the back wall.
Yeah, that was a sneaky, dangerous chance there from Frolunda. Sibelius was all over it, luckily there for HAVU. But how about Frolunda starting to push back once again, right when HAVU thought they had things taken care of, got things in the neutral zone, got a chance or two in the offensive zone. Frolunda comes right back, gets in a quick chance on Sibelius. Unfortunately for them, just didn't go in the net.
Puck is going to be moved up by Timu. Eki hit hard, as that is going to be a power play for Frolunda.
Yeah, now Frolunda gonna have to take advantage of the power play. This is a big chance for them here. 1-1 game. Not often HAVU has taken penalties in this series, and Frolunda power play that we mentioned earlier, they're a good size, especially in the playoffs. 30%, 4 for 13 during the playoffs. So we'll see if they can capitalize here and make this to a 2-1 game.
Up on the left-hand side, Eki brings that back to Loimu. Over to Timu. Loimu, left-hand side for Eki, and he's robbed. And we'll go down to Nick DeMeo for another update.
About halfway through the second period, goals by Villapoica and Benito, giving H-Reds a 3-0 lead in game number 3. They are well on their way to the finals if everything holds up the way it is.
So they're not going to hold their breath over there as they are in the second period. Nick, 3-0 game. H-Reds are looking to check their way into the finals. And a good job by Eagleson. Eagleson all alone, and he scores! Short-handed. What an individual effort by Eagleson.
Eagleson, short-handed as you mentioned there, Tegan, and man, oh man, the guy that got the game winner in game 2 gets the game-leading goal here in Game 3 for HAVU, and what a beautiful play there from Eagleson. It's not often you see Frolunda give up those chances on the short-handed opportunities, but Eagleson made them pay for doing so right there, and HAVU now up 2-1, and they were short-handed to boot. What a play.
Here comes Loimu. Loimu over to Eki, and what an answer by Eki! As just like that, it's only a 1-goal game for under a minute, Brandon.
And Eki said, if you think you're going to take this lead for long, you'd be a fool. And he comes in, a beautiful snipe there on Sibelius. Nothing he could do. And how about the zone entry there from Frolunda to make that play happen? A great job there from the away team, down 2-0 in this series. HAVU took the lead, and that is what Frolunda does best. When they need a play, they find a way to come up with one.
Eki's pitchers, we get the Leaguegaming dynamic stat system with the EU picture of Eki, just like, yeah, I put that in. I put that there. His puck is Eagleson on the right-hand side. That one's going to be dumped all the way down. Nasistalia goes to work, 2-2 hockey game. In the second period, too many twos as there's almost 2 minutes to go. Nasistalia brings that one ahead. It's poked off his stick by Eki, the goal scorer. As here comes Eagleson, the goal scorer for HAVU. Over to Dominointi. Dominointi turns that puck over, and here comes Eki. Eki through the middle to Patslov. Patslov tries to make a touch deep, but he can't get around. Here's Loimu. Back to the point to Eki. Eki, Timu fires, and Sibelius with a great glove save.
That's exactly what HAVU needs from Sibelius. Obviously, they didn't have that lead for too long before Frolunda found a way to beat him on that zone entry on the neutral zone faceoff. With Sibelius, he's been sharp all series long. We'll see if he can keep it up with this being tied 2-2 and a chance to win the series.
That one's going to be dumped back all the way around, and I can't wait to say my favorite coach's saying is Nasistalia goes over to Dominointi. Back over to Nasistalia as he decides to take it back to Vili Kung. And Vili Kung carries that one through the middle, poked off. Nasistalia takes it back, and well, Brandon, it's a 2-2 hockey game here, my friend, and as my old coach would have said, if we would have known, we could have started here as we go to the third period with Frolunda with their backs against the wall.
I was waiting to hear you say that, Tegan. I was wondering when it was going to come out. It had been a minute. I knew it was at some point, and we finally get it here going into the third period of a critical Game 3 for both of these teams. And this has to have been the most exciting game of the three so far. We thought we had action in Game 1, and Game 2 delivered more. We thought we had action in Game 2, and Game 3 so far has delivered just as much, with room to do it even a little better than its successor. And Frolunda maybe leading those shots, maybe more time on attack, but the story in this game, HAVU taking advantage of every opportunity they have had. It's not often you see a team go up against Frolunda, get a minute and a half of time on attack, and only get 3 shots, and find themselves in a tie game going into the third. And that is no slight on this Frolunda defense or Kape, but it just goes to show you how good HAVU is at taking advantage of opportunities. We'll see if they can do it at least one more time to take this series home.
Puck is going to be dumped in as we get started here at the third period at the Caps Gaming Showcase. Frolunda against HAVU as Zebelius comes out with a big save there. As if HAVU wins this game, they are going to the finals. If Frolunda wins, we are going to Game 4. Eki brings that one ahead. It's free, and oh, the backhand shovel shot. My favorite, Brandon, is that one's missed. And Dominoiti up to Eagleson. Eagleson fighting with Dominoiti to get that ahead, but it's going to be picked up here by Potzloff. Potzloff trying to bring the puck, and they battle in the corner. But a good job by Willie Kung to carry that one out. Here's Nosastelia, Willie Kung, right-hand side. Fire Kungen comes in. Fire Kungen puts that one out front, but it's intercepted by Potzloff. And that's good job by him to come back and help out in the defensive zone, as it is defense first here. But a good poke check goes to Eagleson. Back to Fire Kungen. He fires that one on, and it goes off of the goaltender's pad and wide. Dominoiti down low to Willie Kung. He tries to go back to Dominoiti, but he tricked everybody. As Dominoiti gets forced off of the puck, Potzloff up ahead to Eki. Eki stops up at the point, carries it into the backhand, comes around the bottom of the circle, back to Loimu. Loimu still holding, fired. That one's blocked in front by Fire Kungen. Potzloff comes up with the puck for Frolunda. Potzloff back to Timu. Timu down low to Playmaker. Playmaker battling Willie Kung. Here goes Willie Kung out of the zone, right-hand side. Willie Kung still with it, trying to activate from the point, but it's going to be a pass up to Eki, and Eki's one-on-one with Nosastelia. Tried to toe drag him, but couldn't get around Nosastelia, as he's been very good for HAVU Gaming here. Here's Fire Kungen, back to Nosastelia. 10 minutes through this third period. Willie Kung over to Dominoiti. Dominoiti up the right-hand side. Here's Willie Kung, Nosastelia. Nosastelia back to Willie Kung. Willie Kung works the puck out to his partner Nosastelia. Back to Willie Kung. Good trap here by Frolunda, but Willie Kung gets it into Dominoiti. Dominoiti on the right-hand side. Down low to Eagleson. Eagleson, he battles for it below the goal line. A hard-fought battle, but Eki wins it for Frolunda and gets it to Potzloff and over to Loimu. Loimu over to Timu. Timu dumps that one in, and it goes in deep. First to the puck is Willie Kung. Gets it to Nosastelia, but a good job by Playmaker to get in the way of that one. It's shot on, and they score! Playmaker! As what a play there by Playmaker. He stops up at the line, fires that one on, and it just trickles through, as it's been a very back and forth hockey game. As you see, Playmaker gets his 9th goal of the playoffs, as we see our dynamic stat system with this great pitcher up in the right-hand side. Thank you, EU boys, for that. As Dominoiti comes in, and now we've got a third period with 7 minutes to go. Loimu poked off his stick. Loimu battling Eki. Eagleson. Eki takes it right back, and here that one's poked off. Dominoiti now trying to get that one through. A couple of good poke checks, but it jars the puck loose. And here's Timu over to his partner Loimu for Frolunda. Good puck movement, but it ends up on the stick of Dominoiti. Dominoiti looks for the pass, but it goes off at Timu's skate, and it couldn't get through to Kape. Here's Willie Kung. Over to the right-hand side. Here's Nosastelia. Nosastelia can't get that one past Eki. And here goes Potzloff. Ahead for Eki. That one's off his skate, and that one's going to be offside with 3:15 to go in the third period.
Now HAVU gonna have to find an answer after that big goal from Playmaker to give Frolunda the lead. And I feel like this game now, it kind of goes into the hands of Frolunda. The way this thing is played out, they haven't allowed HAVU to get a lot of chances. But can HAVU get one more and take advantage of it like they've done so well throughout this game? We're gonna have to wait and see with about 2 minutes to go.
Puck is brought in the left-hand side by Nostastalia. Eki gets it back, trying to get it out, but he can't get it around Dominointi and Eagleson. Dominointi over to fire, and Eagleson comes in and he scores! What a clutch goal by Eagleson!
Big Flyer Kungan might have shared whatever he had before the series over to Eagleson, because both these guys are as clutch can get. The game winner from Eagleson in game 2, the game tire from Eagleson earlier in this game, and now once again the game tire for Eagleson to make it 3-3. And man, Tegan, what more can you ask for to what we have seen here today?
This is absolutely great stuff at the Caps Gaming Showcase. You will get nothing less than amazing hockey at the Caps Gaming Showcase, powered by Leidos, presented by League Gaming. Puck over to the right-hand side. T-Boo's bumped off the puck. And here goes Flyer Kungan. Gets that one ahead to Nostastalia. Nostastalia battling on the left-hand side. It gets back to the point of Eagleson. Over to Flyer Kungan. Flyer Kungan down to Dominointi. Dominointi works the puck around the outside. Backdoor to Eagleson, and Eagleson looking for the hat trick, but he's shut down by Cape.
And a big save there from Cape. You feel like HAVU trying to get something going now. Things have been kind of quiet other than a few spurts here and there, but now HAVU has a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance? As that puck gets wrapped all the way down, 20 seconds left here in the third period, and we might get another game of extra hockey. As Nostastalia moves that one back to Velikun. Puck over to the right-hand side. Fire Kungan. He walks it in, as Eagleson almost had that one, as I'm not sure if it was Flyer Kungan or Eagleson, but there was a great opportunity there. And we'll head over to Brandon at the intermission.
Yeah, and who would have thought, Tegan, another one-goal game, another overtime between these two games, and we see a little bit of deja vu from last week, an overtime in game 3, a team up 2-0. We saw how it went last week, HAVU hoping to avoid that same fate. For Frolunda, one goal can keep their season alive, while for HAVU, a goal can end this thing in 3, put them through to the finals to meet either H-Reds or Granite, which we may have an update on here in a few moments depending on how things shake out. But how about HAVU? We talked about it. They did this in game 2 as well. Not a lot of time on attacking chances in the first 2 periods, stepping up in the third period and really getting things going for themselves. They've been so good at that all series long. They've done it again here in game 3, and just one goal, as we mentioned, separates them from another finals appearance.
As it's overtime hockey in game number 3 at the Caps Gaming Showcase. HAVU in black, Frolunda in white. Frolunda needing to win to extend this series. HAVU wins, and it is all over. As Nostastalia tries to bring that one in. That one's offside, and we'll head over to Nick F5 Penguin DeMeo for a little update.
The number 1 seeded to surprise absolutely nobody. H-Reds sweeping in 3 games versus Granite. They move on to the EU Finals in the Caps Gaming Showcase.
That one's going to be put on. Here comes Eki out front. That one's poked off. Here's Noimu. Noimu fires, tipped on, and what a save, Sibelius. Dominointi, great save, Sibelius. Remember that save. As here's Eagleson. Eagleson tried to thread the needle to Flyer Kungan. Flyer Kungan's first on the puck. He tried to drive it in. It's loose there on the doorstep. The puck is still loose. Both teams battle, and Cape holds on.
Oh, that was so close, and HAVU, they could taste it, they could smell it, but Cape's pads were all over the puck, and they just couldn't poke that through. And as you just saw, HAVU looking to meet H-Reds here with a goal opportunity.
What a save by Cape as he robs Eagleson on the toe drag shot. As, wow, that one's gotta hurt as he extends the legs. I can't even think of doing that. As that one pops into the right-hand corner, it pops loose. Flyer Kungan looks out front. Nasistelia fires another huge save by Kape. 2 huge split diving saves by Kape to keep Frolunda in the game. Playmaker over to Eki. Eki walks into the middle. He's bumped off of the puck. It's behind the net to Playmaker. He's also bumped off of the puck. And here goes Vili Kuhn. Dominointi ahead to Vili Kuhn. Right-hand side. Eagleson can't bring it through. And here goes Playmaker out for Frolunda. Playmaker through the middle. That one's picked off by Dominointi. And he gets it back to Nasistelia over to Vili Kuhn. Nasistelia on the left-hand side. Nasistelia, he takes that back into his own zone and resets. Didn't like what he saw. Here goes HAVU on the breakout. Dominointi, left-hand side. They finally get it in. Dominointi battling. He doesn't come out with a puck on that side. It's got to be the first time. But his partner over there in Vili Kuhn knocks the puck loose, and here goes HAVU up the left-hand side. Nasistelia stops up, goes to Vili Kuhn. 9 minutes to go here as that puck is brought in. Offside.
Keep in mind the 3 or 4 saves that Kape made there in about that 5-minute sequence. We saw him make a few of those saves in Game 2 in the overtime. It didn't result in the win, but if they can pull this one out, that might be the sequence that gets Frolunda back in the series.
Puck is going to be brought in and dumped in. That is going to be offside, and Frolunda maybe just wanting to touch up on that. HAVU's not going to let him. Puck brought through the middle. Flyer Kungan has it poked off his stick by Eki, and Eki ahead to Playmaker. Playmaker has pod slot, but he decides to carry. It's poked off his stick. Looking for the wraparound, but the defender is there in Nasistelia, and Nasistelia brings that puck out with 7 to go in the overtime period. Nasistelia, nice move as he gets all the way in and down low. Flyer Kungan spins, Eagleson, he scores! Eagleson is hat-trick in overtime, wins and punches HAVU Gaming's ticket to the final.
And HAVU making a statement to the entire NHL esports community that they are still here, they are still a contender, and they can still be a team that is a championship side that's on the stick of Eagleson for the 3rd time in this game that gets the winner to clinch the series in a sweep, 3-0. What a game, what a series, Tegan.
What a game, what a series. Unbelievable stuff, Brandon. We got sweeps on either side. Both teams winning 3-0. That is definitely not what we expected here at the Caps Gaming Showcase EU.
Not at all, especially from this series. I think a lot of people have this one penciled in to go 4 or maybe even the distance at 5 games, but HAVU just doing what they do best, man. They win these close games. We talk about how Frolunda always finds a way. Well, HAVU proving they are no different. They find a way to win games, even though they didn't really play their best in the first 2 periods in Games 2 or Game 3. They found a way to start playing better in the 3rd period and really take that next step in their level of play. It made all the difference in Game 2 to tie it up and get the OT winner. It made all the difference in Game 3 to tie it up twice and get the OT winner. And it moves them on to the final versus HREDs, a series that I don't believe we have seen yet between these 2 teams in any tournament. So that's going to be a lot of fun. But today, about HREDs and their victory. This one about HAVU and their victory. What a series right there. Wow.
What a series it is. Flyer Kungan with a great spin, getting it backdoor to Eagleson. We gave game 1 to Flyer Kungan. We gave game 2 to Dominointi, but Eagleson came out after that game 2 and said, hey guys, I'm here too. And what a hat-trick game by Eagleson for HAVU here, Brandon.
Yeah, and I have to give you some credit, my partner, because you mentioned Eagleson a few times as a guy to look out for, just in his ability to be able to be in every play, win a few puck battles, come out with the puck, and give his team in HAVU Gaming a few opportunities that maybe otherwise they wouldn't be able to. We showed he doesn't just have that grit, he has that skill and that scoring touch as well. It was Flyer Kungan that started the series out for HAVU Gaming, and Eagleson was the one to finish it off with a hat-trick there in this deciding Game 3. So a nice job there from HAVU. We said they may have something to prove here against Frolunda, as Frolunda is knocked them out a few times, to deny them some championships, deny them some finals opportunities within the past year and a half or so. HAVU making a statement saying we are still here and we are still just as much as a championship threat as Frolunda or H-Reds are.
We definitely are. Let's take a look at that playoff picture here, Brandon. There it is. We've got our finals punched in and ready to go. It is the number 1 and number 2 seed as H-Reds comes through and sweeps Granite Gaming, and HAVU comes through and sweeps Frolunda HC.
You know, you have to give both of these teams in HAVU and Frolunda a lot of credit because we mentioned it a little bit earlier, but these two teams were very close to not even being here. They both came down from 2-1 in their quarterfinal series, Frolunda doing it versus Goons, and interestingly enough, HAVU in their series versus Yavaskula, they had to score the game-tying goal in Game 4 with 13 seconds left and win both Game 4 and 5 in overtime. So to think that this time a week ago, HAVU was 13.6 seconds from not even being in this situation. Absolutely amazing to see them in the playoffs, finding their way through, beating Frolunda, and making it to the finals. That is just amazing stuff there from HAVU, but they're going to face an H-Reds team on the other side that has just shown sheer dominance throughout this entire run. I mean, it's going to be a tough challenge for them, but it's going to make for an entertaining series. It's going to be something a little different that we haven't seen before either, so should be a lot of fun here in about a week's time.
Gonna make for great hockey, Brandon, as the finals should be very, very entertaining, my friend. And if you want to be comfortable and enjoying the finals, you might want to head over to @CapsGaming on Twitter, right, Brandon?
Yeah, have to head over to @CapsGaming on Twitter if you want to give yourself a chance to win a new gaming chair courtesy of our friends over at Zip Chair Gaming. We only have one chair left to give away, so make sure you stay tuned on Twitter as we progress through the Caps Gaming Showcase to see if you could be our last and final lucky winner for one of these beautiful Zip chairs on your screen. The last winner going to be announced this upcoming Wednesday on the Caps Gaming Twitter, so make sure you follow on Twitter @Caps Gaming if you want a chance to win the last and final Zip chair that will be given away courtesy of our friends at Caps Gaming and at Zip Chair Gaming.
So we'll want to remind you guys that the EU Finals is in 2 weeks. It is going to be March 13th, Brandon, as we will see H-Reds going against HAVU. But we want to remind you that we have a battle of the Titans tonight as we see our NHL friends over at Isles GT take on Scary Hours at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And that is going to be a battle, Brandon.
Yeah, Isles GT, remember, this is the team that won the first Caps Gaming Showcase under the old Entourage name, so they're looking to make it 2 of the last 3, while Scary Hours yet to win one of these Caps Gaming Showcase tournaments yet, but they were one of the dominant teams in the regular season, were undefeated up until the last week of the season. This should be an absolute battle between two Titans for, like we said, with this matchup, a chance to go and move on to the finals to win a $20,000 prize pool, so cannot wait to sit in the same chair and call this with you.
Exactly, and hopefully it's a Zip chair. It's King Lime, also known as Tegan Blair. He is Brandon B. Major Bigsby behind the scenes. We had the amazing Nick F5 DeMail. We want to thank everybody at the Caps Gaming Showcase, as well as Leidos, and of course Leaguegaming. It has been an absolute fantastic time here this afternoon for us across the pond, and we've got a great battle tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern Time here at twitch.tv/Capitals. You're not going to miss. Have a fantastic rest of your day, everyone.